Jake talked to me a lot today about the new laptop I'm gonna order by tomorrow, and which ports I need, and what output they need for, not to have the best streaming, and he said, do not give it Google.
last three. Yep.
Okay.
And
missed all three of them.
I don't know. New, in case you want to start
Okay,
over.
yep.
Yep. I guess that's my phone, Alex.
That's fine. I just want to make sure the audio's working.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I got real quiet. There we go. All right. We're in business. All right, good evening, everybody. I'm going to start by calling the meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here safely again tonight or this afternoon. Lord, please bless this meeting with your wisdom and get everybody home safely. We thank you for all that you do for this township. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amend the agenda to maybe.
Yeah, I got that. Yep. All right. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate y'all coming to this special meeting. The reason we're having this meeting is because at the last meeting I made a mistake and Mr. Rasmussen's term was not ending. It was Travis Chellis's. I was not given anything. I'm not blaming anybody. We didn't have a good listing in the past as to who at what terms. And so I had built a spreadsheet to track this and I put the wrong name in the wrong slot. So that's it. Just an honest mistake. And so there's no change to Dave Rasmussen's position on the planning commission. And he was never being removed from it. It was just an end of a term. So that's it. So we are here to discuss the planning commission composition, the terms of the planning commission so that everybody's on the same page. And then also the terms and appointments for the zoning board of appeals. With that, I'm gonna let Ms.
Okay.
Kaufman, our attorney, speak.
Hi, I'm here again. I know you love to see me. All right, so just so we all understand, under the Planning Enabling Act and the composition of the Planning Commission, in a township, it's 5, 7, or 9 members. You have, I think, 5, right? It shall be representative. I'm reading right from the statute, so if any of you want to look it up, MCL 125.3815. It says the members of the Planning Commission shall be appointed for 3-year terms. And they shall be appointed to, when you started out, you stagger the terms so that you try to have it turn over every year, like 1/3 of it turns over every year. So, and then it says the membership must be representative of important segments of the community, such as economic, governmental, educational, social development, in accordance with the major interest in that local unit of government. And then the membership must also be representative of the entire territory of the local unit of government to the extent practicable. So one member in a township, and this is different in a city and village, so if you are at a city or a village, you may see it differently. But in a township, one member must be a member of the township board. So then we have 4 other members. So that's how the composition is made up under state law. So when somebody's term is up, it's totally up to and also I should have said, the members of the planning commission are appointed by this chief elected official, which in a township is the supervisor. He gets to choose who he appoints to the planning commission, but the board has to confirm. A majority of the board must confirm. So at least 3 out of 5 would have to confirm his appointment. If they did not confirm the supervisor's appointment, he has to go on to somebody else. So that's how it works. There is no specific way on how people can indicate they want to be on the planning commission, whether it's a form, however you do it here. Then it's up to the supervisor when they determine terms are up, and usually at least every year, some 1/3 of 5 or 2 of 5 or some number of that will be up, okay? Since if we have problems knowing when the terms are up, we try to reconstitute that planning commission to get it back on a staggered term where, somebody may be up this year, 2 people may be up next year, and 2 people the following year. So I don't know if we're able to figure out the terms. Sounds like maybe you have figured out the terms. But we wanna be rotating those through so we're not replacing wholesale in 1 year. So that's the idea about the planning commission. The other thing I wanna mention, I can take questions if you have them for me. The other thing I just have to say, not about the planning commission right now, but, there is a FOIA request that deals with the planning commission member, that member's behavior on the planning commission, and I need y'all to know that there's something called the Employee Right to Know Act, the Buller-Plawecki Act, which means if there is something about an employee or an appointed official, planning commissioners are appointed officials, township board members are elected officials, that is negative or appears to be negative or claims negative, then I have to give, or the township has to give, as the attorney, I will give a letter at least a day ahead of that information being released under the Buller-Plawecki Employee Right to Know Act. We have that situation going on right now. I haven't written the letter yet. I'm late. So whoever's the person who FOIA'd that information, it's coming, but it's gonna be delayed at least a day till I write the Employee Right to Know Act letter to this planning commissioner. So if you wanna do whatever you need to do under FOIA, blame me, it's my fault. Okay? So, I don't know if there's any other questions about the planning commission, do you want me to also talk about the zoning board of appeals at this moment? Anybody?
I think you pretty well covered it.
So do you have, so my question then is there anything I need to know about the composition of the planning commission or where we are at this moment in time, or is it, you know who's on it?
I know who's on it.
Okay,
Yeah, we
all right.
have that.
And, okay, so I can take, if there's questions, I can take them, or if not. you
Anybody
let
have any
me know
questions for
what's next.
Catherine right now?
Yeah, why did we need the attorney to explain that? Why was Catherine here for this special meeting? Instead of just a special meeting to explain that?
It's a volatile issue. And want to make sure we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's. And that's what we're here for. We'll make sure everything's right.
Okay, and did we approve the agenda? Because we have to add a few
Not yet.
things. Okay.
That's the next thing. So, on to the next thing, which is the approval of the agenda. I need to make a amendment, or make a motion to amend the agenda to approve 3 checks that were approved. The activity was approved in May, but we missed the checks in June. So that is for the Eau Claire fireworks, the rec league donation, and, commitment, the right word, and the, pig roast as well.
I'd support that.
Katie supports. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Otherwise, I will, take a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll support.
Julie makes the motion, Katie supports. Okay, and all in favor, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. All right, so we're on, to any board comments before this, other than what you just mentioned, Katie?
Yep, I got a comment. This meeting has to do with, or partially anyway, the planning commission terms. And, I would just like to remind the audience or the public that Alex made a mistake, an honest mistake. He apologized. And, if anyone here is here to attack Alex, I would say that it would discredit the speaker instead of him. He has apologized. If we do not forgive the sins of others, then our Heavenly Father will not forgive our sins. So it would be much worse on any one of us that does not forgive Alex, who asked for an apology. So that's just my comment before public comment.
Any other board comment? If not, we'll open it up for public comment. 3 minutes to go here, please. Mr. Richards?
I can't, the attorney, gave us some of what we were, needing here, I think, but, the zoning enabling act and the planning enabling act for townships, seem to at least address, if not answer, some of the items that were on today's agenda. And so I'm glad that we're using that reference and looking forward to, following what it says, because it could eliminate a lot of problems that could be happening if we change things based upon an opinion and not reference the law. And I also hope that this discussion, as others going forward, is representative of the voters and the residents of our community, and not that of a special interest of any member of the board or their agenda and so forth, because we've seen some of that in the past, and I would hate for those in the room and others that feel similarly to be incentivized to start a recall campaign or anything like that that could make things even uglier than they have been. So that's my comment.
Anybody else? Okay. If not, we'll close public comment and move on to the planning commission composition. So I have here the notes now that from the minutes that we've gone through so we have Patty House currently on the planning commission, and her term ends 6/30 of 2027. Dave Rasmussen, his term ends on 6/30 of 2028. And Mark Lame has a term that will end in 6/30 of 2029. Tyler Strange, term ending 6/30 2029. And Richard Frisky, as the ex officio member, would end on November 30 of 2028. Any questions from the board on that?
I voted for Mr. Lame at the last meeting, and that was under the assumption that he was to replace Dave Rasmussen, and since that is in error, I would rescind my vote for Mark Lane, and request that we vote again, since we would be replacing a different commissioner.
So can you make
Well,
sure
that's
we
a
do
lot.
this right here,
That's a lot right
Catherine?
there. Okay, so I don't think you formally follow Robert's Rules of Order, which I'm glad, because that's very rigid. But at the next, under Robert's Rules of Order, at the next meeting, someone who voted in favor of a vote could bring up a motion for a reconsideration, which I think is what you're doing, okay? And ask that it be heard again. So if we were under Robert's Rules of Order, we could do that. And so maybe you want to do that, I don't know. If you do, then I would need to have at least somebody else who voted in favor of that at the last meeting, second his motion for reconsideration, which I think is what you're saying. Is that
Yes,
sound
that
correct?
sounds correct.
Okay. So, would anyone second that I think he's making a motion to reconsider the appointment of Mark,
Let's just
somebody,
do it again, make it
to the
clear.
Correct, the
planning
approval of Mark Lane.
Yeah.
As the planning commission member.
right. So if anyone wants to second that voted for that last time, that's who would have to second.
I would second that.
Okay.
All right, so we have motion and support.
Now, just so that everyone understands. I think the motion is based on a misunderstanding from the last meeting. I voted for Mark, I'm sorry, I don't know Mark's last name, Mark.
Right there.
And I would choose not to do that now. So if you vote, that means Mark will not be on, and then you're gonna have to appoint someone. Okay, does that make sense?
So
So that it would involve two votes, essentially. The first vote would be, and if it's successful, it would be to remove Mark. All right, to reconsider that appointment and change it, essentially. All right, so that's what you would vote on now. And then if that is a successful vote, then we're down to 4. On the planning commission, you're gonna have to appoint Alex, supervisor would have to appoint someone else. And then you have to vote on that, okay?
All right, discuss.
So the whole issue of getting someone from the Lake Shore was just a bogus excuse, because now they want to rescind that motion to have someone from the Lake Shore represented. So it does, I was right, it was to get rid of Dave.
No, you're projecting significantly.
I'm being honest.
No, you're projecting big time.
Yeah.
You're assuming this was my idea,
I'm looking down the table. I'm looking down
And
the table.
just straight assuming stuff that isn't true. But got it. Thank you. Any other discussion?
I'm on that board with Dave, and I had no desire to get rid of Dave. Obviously, we have different perspectives often, but the whole thing was about a misunderstanding about when the terms were up. And so my reason for wanting to rescind what we did with Mr. Lame is that because we have Travis Chillis, he's another member of the board who his term is not up yet. It's up in a few days. I think he should continue on the board as well.
I've talked with Travis and he is willing to continue on the board. So we had some discussion last time of the reasoning of needing to keep the same person on the board if they're willing. So that may or may not apply, but that was the rationale, some of the rationale for the last vote.
Travis hasn't been on there very long at all. He was appointed to fill somebody that left. And he's the vice chair. He has another good perspective. Another thing I thought about with Dave's situation is, he and Tyler are both contractors, and I think it is fairly clear in our discussions, in our meetings, that as building contractors, they have very similar perspectives on a lot of the issues that we address. So I thought it would be good not to have two building contractors on there. But we don't have that opportunity now, so I don't think that we should be replacing Travis, who has a totally different perspective and a whole different field. He's a officer of the law and hobby farmer, and I think he brings a good perspective and he's doing a good job.
Okay. Any more discussion?
I'd be happy to have Dr. Lame on the commission at the next opportunity, but I don't think this is, it was going to be an open seat kind of thing, and we don't have that right now.
Yeah, I'm in favor of keeping Dr. Lane because, as I said from the beginning, I want someone from the Lake Shore, someone in those small lots. So, and that's, I still think a great spot, a great person to fill that position. And as Catherine mentioned, we do need to have representation from across the different areas of our township. So that's where I'm at with that. Anything else? If not, the motion, this is a motion to reconsider. So, Dr. Lame's approved appointment, probably butchering that, but, Richard?
I seconded it.
So yes?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
So you're a yes?
Yes.
Sorry, we'll vote now.
Okay,
Roll call.
sorry.
Marv?
Yes.
Katie?
No.
Catherine, do I have to vote?
Yes, because this is not about your
Okay.
husband's position. This is about reconsidering the appointment of Dr. Lane.
No.
I'm a no as well. So Dr.
Okay.
Lane will stay.
So Dr. Lane stays.
Yep.
So there's no need to go to another vote. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right.
Unless there's another motion. All right, then we'll move on to zoning board of appeals at this point.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
When I spoke a minute ago, that was quoting the Planning Enabling Act, and somebody correctly mentioned here, the zoning board composition is under the Zoning Enabling Act, okay? It's very similar, but if you want, I will give you what that says.
I'm sorry, what she got?
So
It's
for
talking
the
about the
zoning board of
zoning.
appeals,
Could I interrupt?
yes,
So I don't, not sure about the, procedure of the motion, but I would like to see Dr. Lame, be in the position of Tyler Strange.
Okay, so you would have to make a motion to reconsider Tyler Strange's appointment.
yes, okay. Well, I'm earning my money today. So, you would like to make a motion to reconsider, now Tyler Strange was not reappointed last time, was he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it would be a motion to reconsider the appointment of Tyler, last name,
Strange, yeah.
Strange, and just at the same basis as we just did, okay? So you would have to, if you voted for Tyler's appointment last time, you're one of the people that did?
Yes,
Okay, so you can make that motion to reconsider the appointment of Tyler Strange to the planning commission. Somebody would have to second you, and then we would go.
okay, I will make that motion.
And I'll second that on the basis of the same rationale that I just mentioned, so that we wouldn't have two building contractors on there.
Okay, any more discussion? Motion and support. Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Katie,
No.
Julie,
Yes.
I'm a yes as well.
Okay, so that now means we're down to 4. Let me see if I can name them. Patty, Dave, Dr. Lane,
Lane, yep,
Richard Frisky. Now we need one
in the
more.
opening,
Open.
correct.
Okay.
All right, now we have an opening spot. I would make a motion to appoint Travis Jealous.
I'd second that.
You're gonna make the motion to approve my appointment?
Oh, yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I thought you, yes, I
No,
would
that's
make, I would make a motion to approve your appointment of Travis to that spot.
I'll support that.
We have motion and support to approve Travis's appointment.
This time,
I
I
can-
don't think the clerk should vote.
Thank you.
Since it is her husband.
Okay. All right, discussion time. All right, well, I would make a point at this time to, note that I've talked to both of these gentlemen and, both of them were okay either way, whatever, end up doing. They had no problem with it whatsoever. They're both willing to serve, both have good ideas. We got one spot, so, this is a unprecedented position to be in, where I've got a number of people who actually want to be on these boards. And, you know, there will be opportunities. I've had, I think, one person maybe make it the full 3 years before they, chose to step back. So, we'll see what happens over the next 3 years. But I would like to just mention how they were both fine. You know, it was an easy conversation to have, and we're happy either way, whatever I went with. So
You mean both Travis and?
both Travis
Tyler?
and Tyler were both very amenable to whatever was decided. So that's where I'm at with that. And also this, well, I'm gonna have a vote first, I guess. Anybody else wanted to say anything? Katie?
No.
Yeah,
Richard?
yes.
Marv?
Yes,
And I'm a yes. That passes 3-1. With Julie abstaining, as it is her husband.
So-
Alright, I just wanted to mention about the zoning board of appeals. The zoning enabling act does not set a number, except for if you have a population of 5,000 or more, you have to have, not fewer than 5 members. If you're a population of less than 5,000, it has to be not fewer than 3, so you have to have at least 3, okay?
Yes.
In your zoning ordinance, it'll say what your number
We
is.
have 5, yep.
You have 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can have up to 2 alternates on the zoning board of appeals, which is different from everything else, okay? And again, they should be, selected from, electors, so electors have to be registered to vote in the local unit of government residing within the zoning jurisdiction. And they shall be representative of the population distribution and of the various interests in the local unit of government, okay?
Distribution of the population, how about women versus men? And we don't have educators. Is there anything about gender?
There's nothing
Or-
about gender, but that's
Okay.
a good question, because representative population distribution could be interpreted more than one way,
Yeah.
I think. But it doesn't say, it has to be equal in gender or anything like that, but I don't think that's a bad idea, speaking as a female attorney. There's not enough of us, so.
Because we have one female representative on the planning commission, and that's, we have
Okay.
probably a 50-50 mix of genders.
Okay.
Like the rest of America and the whole world. Yeah, I think we probably do have 50-50, that's true.
So, this is the zoning board of appeals, but the same type of consideration for the planning commission, that's up to you. He appoints, you confirm, so if you don't like who he appoints, you can vote against confirming. So I don't know what your position, I don't know the composition of your ZBA, I don't know what they.
All right, so with that, let's go to the terms. So we have historically done 1-year terms, which is not correct. It is against the way the zoning ordinance is written, that it would be 3-year terms that are all staggered as per your prior item. So my first appointment would be Doug Sini, ending 6/30/2029.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Julie makes a motion to approve that appointment.
Support.
Katie supports. Okay, any discussion?
Is there any possibility of getting the other names before we?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll give you all. That's fine. We'll vote on them individually. That sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Anita Hooksma, ending 2028, 6/30/2028. Tom Richards, ending 6/30/2028. And I was just informed in the last couple days that Tom Strange does not want to be reappointed. And so that term will end on 6/30/2027. And I don't have a person for that spot yet. I'll have to make that appointment in July if I have a
Next year.
person. I'm sorry.
So.
Is that
it has
You
to
said
be
2027.
somebody from the planning commission.
And then well, that's up to the planning commission, is it not? Or do we have to
It's
do we
Dave.
assign it?
It's Dave.
Generally, you can,
Currently, it's Dave Rasmussen,
Okay.
so I would assume that continues,
yeah, that will continue.
Okay.
If he's good with that, yeah.
if you want it.
You said Tom was 2027,
Yes.
so we don't have to do that right
No, they're all up in 5 days.
Okay.
But, so I need, in order to make this work, I
You
need
have to
a
find one more
term that
person.
ends in 2027, and then that next one, when
Okay.
that is redone next year,
Gotcha.
it will end in 2030. So those are your 3 names, plus Dave as the planning commission member. So we got a motion and support on the table for Doug Sini, ending 2029. Any discussion? All right, if not, I'll have a roll call vote. Richard,
Yes.
Marv,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Julie,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. All right, then let's go to Anita Hooksma, ending 6/30/2028.
I'll do motion.
Julie makes the motion to approve that.
Support.
Marv supports. Any discussion? Not. Richard,
Yes.
Marv,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Julie,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Okay. Tom Richards, ending 6/30/2028. Motion to approve if so desired.
I'll make the motion.
Katie makes a motion.
Support.
Richard supports. Any discussion? All right, then we'll roll call it. Katie,
Yes.
Julie,
Yes.
Marv,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll have a fifth. I will try to have a fifth, let's put it that way. I'm sure somebody will step up and want to do that in July, so. With that, I would like to go back to the planning commission
Would you-
situation. I'm sorry?
Would you explain that to me a little bit again? Tom Strange ends in 27?
No, he ends on June 30 of 26 this year.
26.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he is running for school board and wants to put his energies towards that. So, he's asked not to be reappointed.
If he's off in 3 days, 4 days,
Appoint Mark.
then you're only gonna have 4, right?
Well,
That is correct.
Yeah, can we
Then you
appoint
appoint another one after this.
I was gonna appoint him in July. We don't have anything in front of the ZBA today, so,
Okay.
and having
So,
said,
I understand.
considering I don't have somebody that I've talked to, I mean, I could throw names out there, but, I would rather talk to
You may
those
wanna
individuals
consider
first,
the 2
so.
alternates as well, in case we have a conflict of interest when a case comes before the ZBA.
Yes, we can do so.
All right.
All right. All right, the other thing I wanted to, bring up is, about what Catherine talked about a minute ago. Was, there's a FOIA request out there,
Supposed to talk about definition.
requesting we're requesting something about one of our
Well, it
employees,
was requesting something about a planning.
or a plan commission member, I should say.
So, as everyone may or may not know, under the Freedom of Information Act, once that's received, the township has 5 business days to provide an answer. If you send it by email, it's considered received the next business day, or electronic means, fax or email. So, gotta count that in. We also had a federal holiday last week, everybody, Juneteenth is a federal holiday, so we don't count that day. So, within 5 business days after receipt of that, the FOIA coordinator, who is the clerk, must respond either to grant the request, deny the request, or take a 10-day extension. I don't remember exactly what happened in this case, but we're on track to produce that, I think, tomorrow. But, as I explained earlier, I've not written an employee right to know letter yet, which I will do maybe at 9 o'clock tonight, no. And then it'll go out tomorrow to this person. So, then we will release the FOIA information a day later.
Can you speak on what defamation is, please?
Defamation?
Yep.
Okay, well, defamation is, it's a complaint under law, a claim under law, if somebody broadcasts to a third party, so somebody other than the 2 people that are engaged in a conversation, or they put out to the public, broadcast to a third party, a false statement. Okay, so defamation can be spoken, which is slander, written, which is libel. So generally, it's if you publish a false statement about somebody to the public or outside of the 2 people speaking. That's a very basic explanation. Okay?
And the person that the defamation's about would have, if it's written slander, would have the right to go after the person or the people.
Well, yeah, it's a claim under law, okay, it's under law, somebody could bring a complaint, they could take it into court. A defense, the best defense against defamation is truth, so if what you said is true, then then you're gonna be defended. But that's what defamation is, yeah, it's a claim under law.
Okay.
All right, with that, so back in, November, we had a public, hearing, I think, at the board level. And this is on Monday, November 24th. And I got an email after the meeting, this is, right afterwards. I got it while I was driving home. I remember that. From Laura Reed Edwards saying, Alex, I apologize for any disruption I may have caused as Phil and I left the meeting tonight. I tried to have a civil conversation with Travis Chellis as we were leaving to clarify the agreement we had with Bob Harris regarding Phil picking stones from his fields years ago. He was not willing to hear anything, so we walked away. Once again, I apologize for any disruption. I replied to her, I actually didn't hear anything. Sorry that discussion wasn't fruitful. I've had that issue in the past where people just don't want to hear what you have to say. Appreciate your comments tonight. Thanks for coming. And she replies back, thank you for all your hard work. It's appreciated. So then I get this email the next day at noon from Miss Julie Waterman. Alex, I witnessed the beginning part of the interaction between Travis Chellis and the Edwards in the entryway. I know she emailed you about this situation. I want to express my disgust with his behavior. Not only is it conduct unbecoming of an officer, but a shameful incident of an appointed official of the township. To harass a member of the public over her opinions with 3 exclamation points. Shameful. After exiting the building, he followed them to their car, screaming at them. That is threatening behavior, considering the differences in their age, stature, and his position of authority. Is this because of your appointed official? Is this behavior of your appointed official acceptable to you? Do we need to start escorting members of the public to their cars because of fear? I imagine it will fall on us, as the board has proven to be impotent. And yes, even the members of the board have had similar encounters with people. However, you are elected officials. The Edwards are members of the public. Is there really that little respect and care for members of this community who have voices but no influence? This is why I have so many people contacting me in secret. They are fearful. They, including Laura, are too afraid of reporting his harassment and intimidation because of his authority as a law enforcement officer, and his position on the PC has emboldened him to behave so terribly. By continuing to allow him to serve on the PC, you are condoning that members of the public can be silenced out of fear. Shame on you for continuing to stand by that appointment. Travis Chellis should be removed from his position on the PC. Shame, shame, shame. So I then wrote, Julie, I've received your email and would encourage you to take these concerns to the whole board. Any action would have to be taken by the entire board. And she responds, thank you for responding, Alex. I find this current board majority to be tone deaf and impotent, and in some cases contributing to the threats, or at the very least unconcerned. So while I appreciate your suggestion, I decided the best course of action was to contact Sheriff Hoke before the situation escalates any further. He met with me on Monday and has been fully informed. And then a month later, 2 days before Christmas, 3 days, December 22nd, I get another email about this. Alex, I've waited to respond to this email because I've tried very hard to give you the benefit of the doubt about this situation. During normal, easy times, you are an effective leader. However, as this board situation progresses and the community is struggling, you have proved to be ineffective as a leader. A true leader, when receiving an email describing an incident where 2 of your constituents left your meeting and were harassed, would have responded with some words of concern and care before telling me you couldn't do anything. You didn't even reach out to the Edwards to ask about it. But actually, you did do something, not the morally right thing, of course. You passed the information on to the very person who did the harassing. 22 minutes elapsed between my email below and Travis Chellis calling the sheriff's department. They contacted me right away out of concern for my safety. They understand the seriousness of this, even if you clearly do not. Leaders do not ignore harassments of their constituents and certainly don't perpetuate it by putting the informant in a possibly unsafe situation. Your lack of concern for the safety of your constituents when they are exercising their right to speak at a public meeting is appalling and a great disappointment to us, those of us who have stood by you. You can expect to face a recall along with Chellis, Rubing, and Frisky. So I got that. And so next day I'm like, oh, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, first of all, Laura's email did not sound threatened at all, right? Nope. You guys heard it. None of that sounds scary, like there was a big to-do or anything. So we have cameras in this building. And so I said, okay, well, Mike, pull the video feed from last night and let's see what happened.
Everyone see?
They're duplicated, Julie, so you can maximize the screen.
You're gonna help me with that.
You might have to help her with that.
You need the first one. What else?
What's that?
Let's do it with the flash drive.
You needed to read the videos. My apologies. I hadn't tried it on this laptop. Let me try running down the other one.
Was this on the agenda? What is?
This is
board
about the
comment.
planning commission
Okay, it's board
composition.
comment. Okay, or planning commission composition.
Mhm.
It's a good video.
Catherine, who can be an appointee from the township board to the planning commission?
Any one of the 5 of you.
Any one of us.
Yeah. so the board picks who they want to be the board member of the PC.
So it doesn't just have to be a trustee, could be me.
No, it could be anyone, but I should say not the supervisor.
Okay,
Doesn't the supervisor pick that?
No, you
I
as the
mean,
board,
appoint.
is the board pick,
Okay.
okay? So, but when you're on for the term of your length on the township board. So I think that was said tonight, the term would go to the end of his term in 28, right?
could that person then decide they don't want to do it for the full term? Can they,
Yes, they
Okay.
could.
Richard, do you want to keep your place on the planning commission, or do you want me to give it a whirl?
I'm willing to stay there.
Okay, because I'm willing to serve on the planning commission as the board liaison.
While you're doing that, I can give an update on the zoning board of appeals litigation, if anyone's interested.
Thank you.
Totally.
Okay, so when it's a special meeting, you can't add items to the agenda unless all 5 board members are here. All 5 board members are here. So, let me just stand up and say, as the township attorney, there was a request from a property owner on Timberlane Drive, who had 2 subdivision lots, but they were combined into 1 tax parcel, and his house actually went across both parcels. He came in to the zoning administrator, wanted to get a building permit to put a second house on his second subdivision lot, but it's all part of 1 tax parcel. So he was denied by the zoning administrator. Decisions by the zoning administrator can be appealed to the zoning board of appeals. That decision was appealed to the zoning board of appeals. The zoning board of appeals, these people did a phenomenal job. Their chairman was the most prepared. I was very, very pleased. So it went over 2 meetings because the property owner, was very certain of his position. But ultimately, the zoning board of appeals upheld. The zoning administrator said, no, you can't have 2 houses on 1 tax parcel. So then he appealed us to the circuit court. That appeal is in front of, Judge, not Hayes, I don't know which judge, but it's in circuit court right now. What happens at that point in time is the township contacts their insurance carrier, see if the insurance coverage will kick in and defend, and they did, which is great news for you. You're not paying me for that. It's being represented by Plunkett Cooney, who's one of the best municipal firms in the state. I have worked with them in terms, and I will give credit to Chairman Sini, because when they got the record, which is his application, the minutes of the meeting, we used a decision form, which compiled the decision, put it in writing. He said it's one of the best records he's seen from a small municipality in a long time. Pat on the back to me, pat on the back to Curtis, pat on the back to Doug Sini and the ZBA. So, we just filed our brief. Plunkett Cooney filed the answer to that, yesterday or today, and then it will go for hearing in front of the judge in circuit court. So, it's really important when we're doing whatever decisions we're making, planning commission, zoning board of appeals, that we closely follow the law. You have a planning consultant here, but when you get into these things, where it might go to litigation, then you should bring the attorney in, or at least have me recommend how you should do it, because we're very well positioned now. When a case goes to court like this, the case law or the regulatory framework, the judge is gonna look at it, and it is, was our decision supported by competent material, substantial evidence on the record, and did we violate law, or was it arbitrary and capricious? So we are well set up to go forward in this case. We'll see what happens. Curtis did a job, great job. He identified the situation, but now explain, Curtis, what's happened since that time.
What he is proposing to build fits within the guidelines of an ADU,
Accessory dwelling unit,
Right.
ADU.
which
Okay.
is a separate ordinance. ADUs are required currently,
For 8 more
they're
days.
approved under special approval.
For
you
8
need-
more days.
8 more days, you have to get a special
Yeah,
use
well, I'll get to
approval.
that.
Okay.
currently requires a special use permit, it has to go before the planning commission. And at the behest of many in the township who have concerns about our zoning being too restrictive and too demanding. That's one of the things we propose that we look at, to make ADUs a permitted use that does not require a special use permit, so long as you meet all the requirements of an ADU: size, placement, septic, well, setbacks, all of those things. In this case, what he wants to do fits within that category. So in order for him to build the structure that he wants, it happens to be an ADU on on a garage, a carriage house thing, it fits. A week from tomorrow, which is 8 days after, I believe it was published, the approval was published, then that will take effect. So a week from tomorrow, he has submitted to me a standard zoning permit with a standard fee of $100 for a structure, a building, a house. When I get that, I will sign off on that and give him a zoning permit number that he then can go to the county to get his building permit started. So if you want to know my personal opinion, I don't really like it. I don't like how it's going, but that's not my call. The ordinance is what the ordinance is. And if someone meets all the standards of an ordinance, someone like me can't just, what's the word, capriciously deny?
Yes, you can.
That, you just can't do that. So, we're in a position to say, okay, you can have your ADU, which is kind of what I suggested to him back in January. But he is very firm about insisting that his two subdivision lots are separate, and that he should be allowed to have a principal residence on both of those, even though it's within one parcel. So that's how it all got to court, and that's what's gonna be resolved there. Either way, he's going to be able to build his ADU. This will just be a question of whether or not it stays designated as an ADU, or then can become a residence of its own. Now, and I'll say this one other thing, one of the requirements of an ADU is that it cannot be used for short-term rental. All right, the owner has to live on the premises, either in the main house or the ADU. So if a person like that, or any one of you, decide you wanna put up an ADU, you can live in the ADU and rent out the house, but you can't live in the house and rent out the ADU. If comes time that, the reason you put up the ADU is no longer applicable or whatever, you are allowed to rent your ADU, but it cannot be on a short-term basis. It has to be basically a permanent rental. So that's the status. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's good, thank you, because that can help the case. So what day is that effective?
I believe
8
it's,
days from today.
I think it's the
8 days from
third.
Today's, okay,
Yeah.
July 3rd, okay.
It was
Thank-
published in the paper today.
Perfect, thank you. All right, thanks for allowing me to.
Oh, thank you,
check that out.
Catherine. Appreciate that update.
Oh, come on.
I mean, here, just hand it to me. Oh, that's weird. We did reverse our buttons.
You want to exit out and try again?
Yeah.
You can try.
Okay, so, go ahead, Julie, if you want to talk.
That's Travis and Scott Essenberg talking down in the lobby. Gotta love cameras. There's no sound on it.
On any of the video?
No. But don't worry, the pictures will show. We have cameras inside and outside the building.
You can't hear the tone, voice, or anything?
No. But I don't think you're going to need to, because you can see by the reactions of the people. You scroll forward.
There you
Oh,
go.
there's Laura and her husband. Now, does that look like someone who's afraid? Having a conversation with someone? That's Julie. You'll see Dave in a minute asking them to take it outside. There's Dave. Take it outside. Hi, Dave.
Why
So
did
they-
you ask them that?
Because he said that they were, we didn't hear them, but he thought that they were being loud, but we did not hear them.
So it was loud.
Yes.
We did not hear them.
Sound carries very much up there.
Oh,
Yeah, from the foyer, that's all you could hear.
So they went outside. Now, I've also had someone approach me, I won't say his name, and say that he was approached by Miss Waterman and 3 other people to lie and say that he saw something he did not. And he felt that that was wrong, so he wasn't willing to lie. It's not true?
No.
We can ask Mitch Diston.
You can ask him, I don't care. If he said it to you, it's a lie.
Mitch isn't someone that I would think that would lie about that.
I'm texting with him right now. You want me to call him?
Sure.
It's not really necessary. That has no bearing on any of it. There's Catherine Drayton coming in, there's no activity on here. She certainly doesn't look like she just saw someone being verbally assaulted outside the door.
Go to the next
We
video.
can't hear anything.
Body language says a lot, but that's fine. I mean, you could.
So
up to you.
Catherine, would this be an instance where we would have our little trial and we would have the person
Well,
come and tell their side and we would have a conversation?
What are we even doing? What kind of craziness is going on?
Thank you.
Okay? We are gonna answer the FOIA request, but people need to be careful what they say about other people, because if it's not true, it could be defamation. And, you know, you can, I'm sure there's conversations about my legal bills and what is she doing here? I heard it today. You know what I'm doing here? Cause you can't get along with each other.
That's Laura walking to her
Pull it
car by
together,
herself.
people. I'm sorry. Excuse me for being so rude. I'm here. I don't know what kind of trial it would be. I don't know if, you know, I can't certainly decide if somebody lied about somebody else. That would be the judge. And it costs a lot of money and it would be kind of, you know, whatever. Then I'm gonna say, I won't say what I think. I just think we all have to treat each other with respect. The elected officials are doing the best they can. If you don't like how they're doing it, get on the ballot. Okay? I don't, and obviously I don't live here and I don't know all the things that all of you know about each other. But I know a lot, because I have over 70 municipalities I'm the general lead attorney for. And they're from 50,000 down to 300 people. But every place I go, there's the same kind of thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful, but try to get along the best you can, at least be civil. And be careful when you say things about other people, because whether they're true, whether they're not, whatever. To remove someone from the planning commission, we have to have misfeasance, nonfeasance, or malfeasance in office. So either they intentionally did something wrong, they didn't do something they were supposed to do, or they maliciously did something. Out parking lot, whether this happened or not, I can't say I wasn't here. But that would not be enough for me to remove somebody from the planning commission. Now, if there was a physical attack, if there's a police report, but even then, I have to go with misfeasance, nonfeasance, or malfeasance in regards to the planning commission. So, you know, that's what I can say about, I didn't even watch what's going on here, so I have no opinion on any of it. But please, I just heard the supervisor say, hey, you know what, I made a mistake. Okay, we've now been here to try and resolve that. Seems like it's resolved. But I'm sure someone will tell me tomorrow that it's not, okay? And then when I bill for that, I don't wanna get any grief for it, okay? When you call me, I answer, okay?
Indeed.
So, you know, try to get along, try to take a deep breath. I'm just gonna say, I've been asked to do a couple of things about like a data center moratorium for the planning commission, I'm gonna do that. There's big issues we should be focusing on, in my very humble opinion, okay? And maybe we could try to focus on those. That, kumbaya, that's it.
So, Katie, you asked me why we were doing this, because I believe in truth. So, there you go. It was, I went through the process and I kept it all quiet. I didn't say anything to anybody. I just investigated. I found there was no basis for what I was being told, and now it's being FOIA'd, and I'm sure going to be put in the court of public opinion. So I wanted it to be all out there in the open for everybody to see. So I don't think Travis has done anything other than have an opinion on a subject, and that's where we're at with that. So, is there anything else that we need to add to this agenda at this time?
Checks.
Okay, so we need to, we have 3 checks here that we need to do. One for the Eau Claire fireworks, the pig roast, and the Village of Ellsworth. So, you need to see it. It's the same thing we voted on in May, but if anybody wants to look at the printout or the checks, they're right here. If not, I would take a motion to approve or pay those checks.
I'd make that motion.
Richard makes the motion.
Support.
Katie supports. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same. Okay, and I'll open it up to public comment in 3 minutes, please. Julie Water, come in. Yeah.
Julie Waterman, Banks Township. I'd like to clarify a couple things. After I sent that email to Alex, which was really a formal complaint, nothing came of it. And I have not mentioned it since to Alex or to the board. What I asked Mitch was, he was coming back and forth with a crowd of people that were coming from the meeting to the Nugget, drinking, coming back to the meeting and back and forth. And I asked him what he heard. He didn't hear it. That's the conversation I had with Mitch. I never asked him to lie, and I never brought it up since then. You read the email. I hadn't posted it on Facebook or done anything with that email. So, and I was not the one to submit the FOIA request for everybody's clarification.
That's true.
That didn't come from me. So that's my statement. Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, I'll close the public comment period. Any board comment? If not, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Marv moves,
Support.
Richard supports. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed the same. Have a good night, everybody. Stick around for the, maybe go have some dinner and stick around for the bridge discussion at 6:30
Catherine?
here in the same spot.
I don't need to be here, do I?
No, Catherine,
Yes.
do I need to get,
Is that a village thing?
Yeah, although they're probably gonna want some help with it.